You know the big weakness of Falco doing a laser?
His startup and then his ending.
Well, it's mostly just. Hello there.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm having fun teaching people. What's your rank, TK?
I am Plat 1.
You're a platinum Marth. All right. Well, you're up against the heart symbol, Gorge177, a Falco main. I want to see how you do against that guy. How do you feel about the Falco matchup?
It's not my best matchup. Sometimes I get locked up in Falco's lasers and stuff, but I've been working on it.
All right,
So
we'll see how you do.
sometimes I can roll over.
Okay, so I want you to play closer to your opponent. Like when it looks like you want to like run up grab or something, be closer. Like at least threaten, because currently you're playing really far away from the Falco, and I want you to be a little bit closer and see what effects that might have. I'm not telling you to like run up, dash attack, or grab. I am telling you to like at least dash closer to them and see what that might do. Oh, he's doing more dares, huh? If you see that they like to run up dare when you play closer to them, then pivot grab. Ooh, that was forward smash. Ooh, oops. I love that. See how you're so far away that like,
Yeah, I do.
you know, you're playing his game if you play that far away. I want you to play closer. Yeah, that would have been a really good place to light shield. So,
Yeah.
I know the conventional counter pick is usually Stadium, but I want to do something a little bit fancier here. I want you to
Okay.
counter pick Fountain.
Okay.
Because the reason why I want you to counter pick Fountain is so then you're just naturally playing closer. And I want you to kind of, because majority of
Yeah,
how you
Fountain's well
lost
staged.
most of your interactions was because you were frankly playing too far. And I want you to force playing closer so you know what effects that causes to your opponent. Every now and then, if they're in immediate dash attack or grab range and they still laser, in future interactions, I just want you to rip the dash attack. Yeah, rolling in, typically not that good when you are far away. Don't RTC. I want you to just read. Forward smash. Yes. Love seeing that. Oh my god. Yes, no! Should I beat? I know it might be weird to like wait out platform situations, but what you're doing is correct. I know you're getting hit a lot, but I have a reason why you should be playing at that close distance that we're going to do some analysis afterwards. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do some analysis because there's a lot of takeaways here. Here's a big reason why I told you to play closer is because you notice in the Battlefield game where like I often saw that you like hesitated and like you gave him a lot of respect. When you gave him a lot of space, that allowed him comfortably laser. And the whole point of playing closer is so that they don't feel comfortable throwing out lasers anymore. You know the big weakness of Falco doing a laser?
His startup and then his ending.
Well, it's mostly the startup.
Yeah.
And they're not comfortable pulling out a laser when you are close. Because, like, you know, if they just pull out a laser, you can just fucking tipper forward smash them sometimes. you know? Because that's how slow the move can be. Plus the jump squat. It's like the frame data of the laser plus jump squat takes a long ass time. And that's why I encourage you to play closer. Hey guys, if you guys are struggling with your slippy ranked games, I've got just the thing for you. Head on over to my Patreon where even the $5 tier has so much resources for improvement. If you're really looking to take your gameplay to the next level, I got some coaching on my Patreon and my Metafy. So check me out in the link below. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Let's talk about like the ranges that you're playing. That I think I'm gonna wait for like a very obvious moment, where like the amount of space that you're giving here is really bad for one very obvious reason. Like if they do a jump turnaround laser and you try to dash attack them, it will never hit. It will never hit. And that's why giving them this much space is really bad. Because you're not exploiting the big weakness of laser, which is that it takes time to come out. Marth's Power Shield is one of the best way to deal with Falco lasers. But if you are close here to begin with, you don't need power shooting. You could just actually just hit them and kill them. But because you give them so much respect, where essentially Falco doing a laser has no risk, it's like you're letting the Falco play his game, because you're not really exploiting any weakness of laser in the sense that as a long startup. Plus, like, you could play around power shields, but technically that won't always work. Versus if you play where his laser game has a risk, and then you just hit them. Like, say, like, theoretically you were closer, and then, like, you jumped up Nair, you dash attacked, they die. They die. Like, they're set off stage, and you could kill them. But because you gave him so much respect in this, you gave him, like, the position where he could laser for free, that's not good. Here's also another position where, like, laser essentially had no risk, is kind of like the flaw of overshielding, where, like, if you shield, like, shielding is good in scraps, because in scraps, it's already a risk for Falco to just laser preemptively. But when it's like done, you want to then put away the, like, this is an example of a scrap kind of being done. You want to then immediately reset in some way. Like, you could jump Nair now. If you jump Nair here, that would have punished this laser, actually. Also, if you shield in positions where it's too far away, then that's really bad. Like, you don't want to shield in positions where it's, like, unless you're power shielding, you don't want to shield too far away. Plus, like, when the scrap scenario is done, because this is, like, an example of, like, a finished scrap, you want to then transition to, like, a jump Nair, for example. Because this, like, a jump Nair out of shield would have immediately, like, punished this. Again, by the way, no risk for the Falco doing the laser, right? It's like, when you dash away here, all of a sudden this laser is no risk compared to, like, if you, like, crouched and, like, down tilt or, like, dash attack, dash back, dash in, dash attack, like, or even power shield, but, like, I really like dash attacking here because they're forced to kind of do, like, a higher laser. All of a sudden, the Falco's gonna regret lasering. Now, the run-up power shields are kind of sexy, not gonna lie, but you don't need to do a lot of them.
Yeah, they're fun, but
yeah, they are fun.
When you don't get them, it can be kind of bad.
Yeah, also, it's not consistent.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to really emphasize just how much space that you're giving, this Falco, and how he's doing risk-free lasers, which is the last thing that you should do. This is roughly when I told you to, like, play closer. And because this Falco, when you gave him so much space, they only are incentivized to laser. Now I want to tell you the effects of playing closer. So, as you ran at him, he was reacting to this, definitely. Because he has never done an aerial up to the point where I told you to play closer. Now you're playing closer. Isn't laser a big risk for the Falco now?
Yeah, and now he's, like, rolling in aerials.
So, now they're going to switch to aerials where it doesn't have that weakness of, like, a big, long startup. And this is where you can start playing the 50-50 of doing, like, a dash back pivot grab. When you're close to them, and then you do a dash back pivot grab, that's how you could effectively play against Falco. And if you still see that they're going to still spam lasers, that's when you run up dash attack. That's when you run up Nair. So, a lot of times you kind of want to check that, like, hey, they might do like a run up aerial. So I'm gonna dash back. And if you don't hear, here's also another cool trick is that if you don't hear any laser sound, you could assume that's a like an aerial, like a run up nair. And if you hear a laser sound, then you could dash back power shield
Okay.
in those type of positions. That's
So
a
you are doing it on reaction then. On reaction is just an assumption based off what you're
Is he
getting
VOD
on
reviewing
if
right
it's
now?
a laser or no laser sound.
yes. So I want to point out again that once again you played too far away. No risk laser, no risk laser. So now that you're playing closer, where like now Falco putting out a laser is a risk, this is the time to dash dance grab. That's why I told you to play closer. Even though you ended up losing, you lost because you didn't really know the mix-up, that I didn't have enough time to explain why you should do that mix-up.
Yeah, I see it now.
Now, like, you're making it a risk for him to pull out a laser, and you can now effectively dash dance grab that. That's like a pretty fundamental way of playing the Falco matchup. I really love seeing the run up power shield, but again, it's not actually really that consistent. And like, you have a much more straightforward way of dealing with that situation. Good. Like seeing that. Although, I don't like seeing that. What you should have done here, by the way, is like, when you launched it off stage and you grab this, you could have like double jump bear here.
Yeah, I
Cover all his angles. So yeah, once again, no risk laser. The reason why that was no risk is because you didn't exit out of your scrap here. Like, at least you didn't exit out of it properly. If you wave dashed in, especially after that grab and then you shield again, no risk laser from the Falco. That down tilt was definitely too late. Could have also down tilted his double laser, funny enough. I love nair out shield, power shield. That I love that you're doing. I would have light shielded. That's what I meant, that you should light shield there. I didn't really mean to light shield here. That's not exactly what I meant. So just letting you know on that. Like, you want to only light shield at like the last possible second. When you like light shield super preemptively, they could play around it like really well. It's really like you want to light shield at the last second. Again, no risk lasers for them, right? Although that was a really good power shield. See how afraid he was?
I back off. I back off when he's scared.
Yeah, but he's actually way more scared than you. Falcos have so much trauma getting gimped at this position. That's why he shielded. Yeah. So, like, you were afraid for kind of no reason. I guess, like, you were afraid because you don't know how to deal with this position. But he was afraid for his fucking life. Like, this is why playing closer to Falco is the way to go. Is because you have a chance to just straight up own them. And then you just gave that up, and then now he feels really comfortable. No risk laser. No shield, free dare. And yeah. And I think the second game, it's so much where you played closer, but you didn't know how to beat like his scraps. So yeah, what do you think about what we went over?
I had no idea about the 50-50 between dash back pivot grabbing beating the aerials, and then that's why you get close, because that's if they adapt. Otherwise, you dash attack down till you hit them. And you need to start with the laser. I didn't know about that. That's huge.
I want you to implement this when you fight future Falcos. It's like, be very aware of the ranges where him throwing out another laser is not safe, and then also ask yourself, like, am I giving Falco free opportunities to laser? Because like there's times where you're close, but you gave him a free opportunity to laser because of like a preemptive shield, or you didn't exit out shield properly, and you really just want to limit that. There's going to be, obviously, like, in the opening of the game, they're going to get a guaranteed laser. Those, like, against guaranteed lasers, you want to set up a power shield position. But there's going to be a lot of positions where they're not, like, you know, drawing out a laser for them is really unsafe. And that I want you to recognize in the course of a game or a set.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
For beating laser startup, I think you mentioned dash attack.
Yeah.
And down tilt.
Run up grab.
Run up grab. Okay.
Yeah, because some Falcos like they're gonna try to laser, but then like when they think that they make it dash attack, they're gonna shield. So it's like a 50-50 between dash attack and shield, and between dash attack and grab.
Okay.
If you're referring to like the falling laser, you could crouch down tilt. All right, guys, say fuck you to New York. All right, bye.